May is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So this month, we've been shining a spotlight on some of the members in our community who are of Asian or Pacific Island descent and the impact they're having on our community.
Yeah, and what some of you might not know is I'm actually half Japanese and half Samoan. And I've said this before, but long before I was working in news, my dad was actually making the news. So as the month wraps up today, I'm sharing part of my parents' story and the impact they've had here on the Gem State. This was my dad, Shige Matsuzawa, 4 years ago.
いらっしゃいませ means welcome.
He and my mom, Debbie, opened the first Japanese restaurant in downtown Boise 31 years ago, Shige Japanese Cuisine.
1992, we opened a restaurant downtown, and I like to show Japanese culture and food.
And I believed in him, he's the best chef, and that's why I married him, because he can cook, right? And so we took that risk in 1992, because when we moved to Boise, there was hardly any Japanese. So it was his way of sharing his love for his Japanese food and share that with the community.
Housed in the then Capitol Terrace building off of 8th and Main, at that time, it was a risk because not too many Idahoans ate Japanese food. In fact, some people even told my parents they would never make it.
When we opened restaurant, a lot of people want to eat sushi, but they don't like raw fish.
As sushi became more popular, they began expanding. Over the years, they opened a floating sushi bar in Boise and Meridian, as well as a Japanese steakhouse and saketini bar. They even built quite the reputation for their parties. Like this one, a luau celebrating the restaurant's 20th anniversary. A chance for my mom to share her Polynesian culture.
What Polynesian culture is all about sense of family, love and respect. I went to high school at Bishop Kelly, and when I said I'm Samoan, they didn't even know where Samoa is.
That's changed over the years.
Compared to 31 years ago, there was hardly any Japanese over here, let alone the Japanese restaurant. We were the first downtown, right? Now it's like all everywhere. And as Polynesian too, we actually, this is a change that we actually, UTV, people are celebrating the Polynesian and Asian culture. This is a big change because this never happened 30 years ago, or let alone 20 years ago here in Boise. So this is great.
Shige Japanese Cuisine was downtown for 26 years before my parents flipped the closed sign for good. Today, though, you can still find them in Meridian at Shige Express, rolling sushi side by side.
A lot of customers coming to Meridian, older customer, generation. Parents come, and the kids come, and the grandchild come. So 3 generations. So I'm so happy to see people.
There were kids downtown, and they show up over here, their parents, they're bringing their kids here. And it's amazing, you have 4 years old, already eating sushi. This is something that 30 years ago, I don't see a 4-year-old eating sushi.
Feel like a family.
A family my dad still welcomes the same way he has for more than 3 decades.
いらっしゃいませ.
And a lot of people might not know this, but my dad has actually trained the majority of the owners of the other Japanese restaurants here or their head sushi chefs here in town. So he's been able to pass down that knowledge and have this lasting impression on the next generation of sushi chefs right here in the Treasure Valley.
He's certainly done a good job of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good restaurants now, but so many people do talk about Shige's.
Oh. And I think it's, I grew up in the restaurant business, so it's something
you were
that I
in
think,
some of the videos
yeah,
there,
that was
actually
me,
waiting
dancing
tables
and waiting tables, and sometimes I still help out if they need help, you know. So, but I think it's something that my dad takes pride in, right?
Yeah.
That he gets to see this next generation kind of flourish and go out on their own and take the knowledge, the skills that he passed along to them.
And he's a chef, but he's an artist too.
Yes, I 100% agree with that.
And I think it's great. I mean, your parents obviously have a great bond, but you were actually named after both of them.
That is true. So the she from Shige and the ra from Deborah. So Shira.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Happy Asian
Something
American
you might not have
Pacific
known.
Islander Heritage
Yeah.
Month.
And thank you for bringing us all those stories.
Oh,
too.
thank
really,
you.
really
I
interesting.
really enjoyed it.